Today, I want to talk to you about something that silently destroys focus, ambition, and inner peace. It is not failure. It is not lack of talent. It is distraction, especially the distraction that comes from emotional attachment, crushes, and constant thoughts about girls or boys. Let's be honest. In today's world, attention is the most valuable currency, and most people are losing it without even realizing it. You tell yourself you will study, work hard, or build your future, but suddenly your mind drifts away. A name comes in your thoughts, a message notification steals your attention, or a memory starts playing in your imagination. And just like that, hours turn into nothing. Days pass, and goals stay unfinished. This is not because you are weak, but because your mind is undisciplined. And an undisciplined mind always becomes a slave to emotions. Distraction is one of the most dangerous enemies of success. And the worst part is that most people don't even realize they are addicted to it. Especially the distraction that comes from girls or boys, crushes, emotional attachment, constant thoughts, and imaginary expectations. It doesn't look like a problem in the beginning. It feels harmless, even enjoyable. But slowly, it starts controlling your attention, your emotions, your time, and eventually, your entire direction in life. Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is simple but powerful. You cannot build a successful life with a distracted mind. When you constantly think about someone, when your focus keeps shifting to messages, calls, social media profiles, or imaginary conversations, you are not living in reality anymore. You are living inside your head, and that mental space becomes more important to you than your actual goals. You sit down to study, but your mind drifts. You start working, but your attention breaks. You try to improve yourself, but emotions pull you back again and again. This is not love in most cases. This is attachment mixed with lack of discipline, and it slowly eats your productivity from the inside. One of the biggest misunderstandings people have is that they think they are emotionally deep or connected, but in reality, they are just mentally occupied. Real love or real connection does not destroy your focus. It supports your growth. If something is constantly pulling you away from your purpose, it is not strengthening you, it is weakening you. And the longer you stay in that cycle, the harder it becomes to break free from it. Because your brain gets used to emotional stimulation, and it starts craving it like a habit. In today's world, social media has made this problem even worse. A single picture, a story, a like, or a message can trigger a whole chain of thoughts. You start imagining scenarios, building expectations, analyzing every small detail, and creating emotional stories that do not even exist in real life. Most of the time, you are not reacting to reality. You are reacting to your imagination. And imagination without control becomes a trap. It keeps you mentally engaged, but practically unproductive. The first real shift begins when you understand that your attention is your most valuable asset. Whatever you focus on grows stronger in your life. If you focus on your studies, your skills, your body, your business, or your goals, they grow. But if you focus on distraction, emotional confusion, and overthinking, that also grows. So the question is not whether you are thinking or not thinking. The question is, what are you feeding your mind every single day? Another important truth is that attraction is natural, but obsession is a choice. You cannot control what you feel instantly, but you can control what you repeat in your mind. The more you entertain a thought, the stronger it becomes. The more you check, stalk, or replay conversations in your head, the deeper the attachment grows. And then one day, you realize that your emotional state depends on someone else's attention, which is a very weak position to be in. Discipline is the only real solution. Not motivation, not temporary inspiration, but discipline. Discipline means doing what is necessary even when your mind wants something else. It means sitting down to study even when your emotions are pulling you away. It means choosing your future self over your current feelings. Because feelings are temporary, but consequences are permanent. Every successful person you admire has learned this one skill: controlling attention. The next important step is understanding that you cannot just remove a thought. If you try to forcefully stop thinking about something, your mind will think about it even more. That is how the brain works. Instead of fighting thoughts, you need to replace them. Replace overthinking with action. Replace emotional scrolling with learning. Replace imagination with real-life goals. The mind cannot stay empty. It always needs direction. So if you don't give it purpose, it will give itself distraction. You also need to understand the power of environment. If you are constantly exposed to triggers like social media profiles, chats, old conversations, or certain habits, your mind will keep restarting the cycle. That is why distance is important. Not emotional distance alone, but digital and mental distance as well. When you reduce unnecessary exposure, your mind slowly begins to detox. And when your mind detoxes, clarity returns. Another key realization is that most of this distraction is not about the other person at all. It is about your internal emptiness. When your life has no strong purpose, no clear direction, and no meaningful challenge, your mind will naturally attach itself to emotional entertainment. That is why people with strong goals, strong routines, and strong discipline don't fall into these cycles easily. Their life is already full, so they don't need emotional chaos to feel alive. If you really want to break this pattern, you must train your mind for consistency. Even 7 days of focused effort can start changing your internal wiring. When you repeatedly choose focus over distraction, your brain starts adapting. The urge does not disappear instantly, but its control over you weakens. Slowly, you stop reacting emotionally and start responding logically. That is the beginning of real mental strength. Attraction will always exist. Emotions will always come and go, but your power lies in what you do with them. You can either feed them and lose control, or you can redirect them and build your life. The choice is made in small daily moments, not big dramatic decisions. Every time you sit down and choose focus, you win a small battle, and those small battles eventually decide your entire future. Distraction is not something that suddenly destroys your life. It is something that slowly steals it from you, while making you believe everything is normal. Especially the distraction that comes from emotional attachment toward girls or boys, crushes, relationships, or even one-sided feelings. At first, it feels harmless. You think it is just a small thought, just a little curiosity, just a casual interest. But gradually, it starts occupying your mind so deeply that your focus begins to shift from your real life to an imaginary world. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where most people lose their power, not in big failures, but in small, unnoticed distractions that repeat every day. The human mind is designed to attach itself to emotions easily. When you see someone attractive, when you talk to someone regularly, or when you check their social media again and again, your brain starts building a connection. But the problem is not connection itself. The problem is when that connection becomes obsession. You start thinking about them in situations where they are not even present. You imagine conversations that never happened. You create expectations without reality. And slowly, your emotional world becomes more active than your real world. This is the beginning of mental imbalance between focus and fantasy. One of the biggest traps is overthinking. Overthinking is not deep thinking. It is repetitive thinking without direction. You keep analyzing messages, tone, replies, silence, and behavior. You try to decode meanings that may not even exist. This drains your mental energy without giving you anything productive in return. And the more energy you spend on these thoughts, the less energy you have for your goals, studies, work, or personal development. Your brain becomes tired, not because of hard work, but because of unnecessary emotional processing. Another powerful factor is emotional dependency. When your mood starts depending on someone else's attention, reply, or behavior, you lose control over your inner state. One message can make you happy, and one silence can make you anxious. This is a very unstable way of living, because your emotional balance is no longer in your hands. And whenever your emotions are controlled by external factors, your focus automatically becomes weak. You cannot build a strong future if your present is controlled by unpredictable emotions. Social media makes this even more dangerous. You see curated lives, filtered pictures, and selective moments. Your mind fills the gaps with imagination. You think you know someone better than you actually do. You start building emotional attachment to a digital version of reality. But in truth, you are reacting more to content than to the real person. This illusion keeps your mind engaged, but disconnected from real growth. You scroll, you check, you compare, and without realizing it, hours of your life disappear into nothing meaningful. The first step toward breaking this cycle is awareness. You must recognize when your thoughts are becoming repetitive and unnecessary. Not every thought deserves attention. Not every feeling needs action. Just because you are thinking about someone does not mean you should continue feeding that thought. Awareness creates a small gap between thought and reaction. And in that gap lies your power to choose differently. The second important step is understanding that attention is energy. Wherever your attention goes, your life energy flows. If your attention is constantly going toward a person, their actions, their presence, or their online activity, then your energy is being invested there. That means less energy for your goals, your discipline, your skills, and your personal growth. Successful people are not always the most talented, they are the most focused. They protect their attention like it is their most valuable asset, because it is. Another key point is that emotional attachment becomes stronger when your life lacks direction. If you do not have clear goals, strong habits, or a structured routine, your mind will automatically search for stimulation. And emotional stimulation is the easiest and most powerful form of distraction. That is why people who feel empty inside often get stuck in overthinking relationships or crushes. It fills a temporary emotional gap, but destroys long-term progress. You must also understand that detachment does not mean becoming cold or emotionless. It means regaining control over your emotions, instead of being controlled by them. You can care about someone without losing your focus. You can feel attraction without becoming dependent. The difference is discipline. Discipline is what allows you to feel something and still choose your actions wisely. Another important realization is that constant mental replay creates addiction. When you keep replaying conversations, imagining scenarios, or checking updates repeatedly, your brain starts treating it like a reward system. It becomes similar to a habit loop. Thought triggers emotion, emotion triggers action, and action reinforces thought again. Breaking this loop requires interruption, not resistance. You have to redirect your mind into something active whenever the loop starts. Physical activity, learning something new, building skills, or even simple tasks like cleaning, writing, or planning can help break this mental cycle. The goal is not to suppress thoughts, but to replace them with actions that have real value. A mind that is busy building something meaningful does not have space for unnecessary, emotional loops. Another hidden truth is that most emotional distractions are temporary in nature, but their impact on your future can be long-lasting. A few months of distraction can cost you years of progress. That is why awareness in the present moment is extremely important. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you are not just making a small decision, you are shaping your future direction. Ultimately, your attention decides your identity. If your attention is scattered, your life will be scattered. If your attention is controlled, your life will become controlled. Emotional distractions will always exist. Attraction will always exist. And thoughts will always come and go. But your strength is not in stopping them from appearing. Your strength is in deciding whether they deserve your energy or not.